Welcome back, guys, to another one. This one we'll just get straight into it. This is about offshore outfits. I've been asked about what outfits I actually use offshore and what I use them for. Beside me here, you probably can't see on my camera just yet, but I've got a few outfits, some of my favourite outfits I use quite a lot. And let's go through them and talk about what I use them for. Okay, we'll start off with a very colourful one. This is what I've got here. It's just a little 2500 reel. I think that's a little Daiwa 2500. Okay, just on a 7-foot graphite rod. This is like a 6 kilo rod, nice and light, multicoloured thing. This is just one of my cheaper rods. This is what I use for bait, believe it or not. I don't worry about those inline rods. You know, you can wind the bait jig down into. I don't like those things. They're heavy, they're top heavy. You can't feel the damn thing on them. They're bloody hopeless, they really are. So I just use doesn't really matter what it is. I just use a little light spinning outfit like so, and catch all my yakkers and slummies and stuff on this. It's got 10-pound braid, it's nice and light, it cuts through the water. You can feel all the bites and nudges on the bait jig. Okay, something like that's fine. Or nowadays Shimano do like a nice little Sienna combo. You get a little 2500 and a graphite rod for 99 bucks. It's a nice little outfit. Use it for a bait jig rod. Okay, so that's the style of it. That always goes because it's more catch and bait. Okay. The next one is, this is a 4000 Stratic, an FL Stratic, okay, on a 6 to 8 kilo 7-foot rod. I can't remember the brand of this rod. I got this shipped to me from the US, but I know it's 6 to 8 kilo 7-foot. Basically, it's a casting rod. So something like this. I've got a 4000 Stratic. It's got 20-pound braid on there, 300 meters on a 7-foot 6 to 8 kilo. This is my casting rod. So when I'm offshore and I'm looking for tuna schools or mackerel, spotty mackerel, even casting to Spanish, dolphin fish around fads or free swimming dolphin fish or anything like that, this is my casting rod. So 20-pound braid, 300 meters on a 4000 Stratic. Okay, a good all-round outfit to have in your boat. 7-foot rod, just a little bit of distance, a little bit of length for distance casting. Okay, no, that's just casting rod, just a casted tuna, like I said, tuna, dolphin fish, whatever I see, it's feeding. I usually have this connected up with either stick baits like I've got there or casting slugs. Okay, so that's one of the ones I usually have in a boat in the back corner, just ready for casting. Now we'll get into the fun stuff. The rods you've seen me most use in the videos, and now that I'm up north on the reef, you're going to see me use them a lot more. They're basically jigging outfits, but I use them for everything because I love these little outfits. Like this is a little 15 kilo model, okay? That's a little Torium. That's a 30 or 20? That's a 20. Torium 20. Not an expensive reel, a powerful little reel. It's filled up full of 30-pound braid, okay? It's got 30-pound braid on it. And it's matched up to a little, I think, PE2 monster mesh, Daiwa monster mesh. I don't know if you can get these rods anymore. Call them mongrel mesh because they're strong as. You can do what you like with them and you can't break them. So that's a little PE2 rod. It's only a 5-foot rod, it's very short, it's a jigging stick. And I prefer shorter rods, especially when I'm out chasing powerful fish. You get a lot more control over a fish with shorter outfits than you will with longer rods. Longer rods you just get owned. And with jigging outfits, you don't have to use them for jigging, like you can see in my other videos. Guys, I use this for everything. Mainly live baiting. Like if I'm out wide and I want to go bottom bashing, putting pattern knots to rigs down in deep water, chasing pearlies and snapper and kingfish and all sorts, this is fantastic. Okay, overhead, easy to use, short, easy to manage, control, and good with big fish. And when I'm in closer chasing like cobia and jewies and stuff, I use this. You'll see this in a lot of my videos. You don't have to go top-notch jigging outfit. Like I said, this is a Torium. It's not an expensive reel, but it's a nice, powerful little reel, and I've had it for years and hasn't skipped a beat. This is a Daiwa 5-foot monster mesh. Okay, PE2. Just a nice little all-round outfit. It doesn't have to be top-notch, even though I have got some of those. That's one of my favourite ones. A while back, I lost my Saltiga outfit, which a lot of you guys know. I've had that for years. That was one of my all-time favourite outfits. So I replaced it. And I just went and got this little Speedmaster. Okay, I got a little Speedmaster. What size is that? That's a, I can't even see. I need new glasses. What size one is it? That's a 10. Little Speedmaster 10. Look at that. Cracking little reel. Another one matched it up a little short jig stick. It's a Therese. It's a Therese. What have we got there? It's a 30 to 50. Little 30 to 50, a little 5'2". Okay, Therese. And I've got 50-pound braid on that one. I'm not going to talk about PE because a lot of the guys who watch this channel don't really understand PE or know what it means, so just talking pounds, it's easy. And the guys that do know understand PE, well, you already know, so you don't need to be watching the videos. So that's a 50 pound, so 24 kilo. And this is basically another one, little short jigging outfit. I use, once again, live baiting, bottom bashing. You can use them for trawling if you want, jigging, all sorts. It's got 300 yards of 50 on there, but I mainly live bait with this thing. And now that I'm up on the Great Barrier Reef, this will be used for a lot of, bottom bashing, putting big baits down for red emperor and stuff. Okay, once again, you don't have to go top notch. The Speedmaster reel, beautiful little reel. They are a high ratio reel, so in deeper water, it is really hard to start cranking on them. But that's where the 2-speed comes in. If you fish in deep water, you hook a big fish and you find it really hard to turn the handle, this is just 2-speed. You got the button on the handle there. Push the button in, your 1-to-1 ratio. Start cranking, really easy. And as your fish gets high in a water column or takes off across the water, the little lever on your handle, flick it. You're back in high speed. Go after the fish, chase it down. But being I don't mind the high geared reels, especially a 2-speed one. Because like I said, if it's in deep water, you can push the button in, go to 1-to-1 ratio and just start cranking and get the fish up. Okay. You can use these for jigging, but generally jigging reels are a lower gear, not high gear. Okay. So that's a little Speedmaster Orange Therese. Once again, not an overly expensive outfit, but a little cracker to take anywhere and live bait with, bottom bash with, float baits out. You can do all sorts with them, but they're just a good all-rounder. And once again, short rods, more control over fish, especially big pouty fish. Okay, we'll go to the trawling ones now. Trawling. I have got tigers and stuff, but I haven't got big tigers anymore. I've got little 12s and 16s. Because I like sport fishing, I like light line. But up here off the reef, I probably won't be able to use them too much. So I'll get the fish, but up here's the sharks. I won't be able to beat the sharks. It'll be a bit of a shame. So I'll probably just end up using go back to good old basics without buying overly expensive Penn Internationals and tigers. TLDs are great. You got your single speeds like your TLD 15, 20 and 25s. But I've just went and bought a 30. Once again, the 30s, they're a 2-speed. So you got your 2-speed. So low gear ratio, high gear for fish down deep and up high. Okay, and a 30 holds a bit over 600 of 15 kilo mono. And 15 kilos is a good all-round line for trawling, especially around here. You can catch your mackerel on them, catch your dolphin fish, your wahoo, your small blacks, sailfish, stripy marlin, pretty much all pelagics, and even bigger marlin if you want to go chase them down and spend a few hours on them. Tuna species, all your tunas, not a problem in the world. It's a TLD 30, 15 kilos, just a good all-round outfit. Once again, good strong reel without breaking the bank. And I've got this on an old Dole STP rod, you can't get them anymore. But once again, just a short stroker rod, roller tip, 15 kilo rod. Don't have to go over the top of this, just a 15 kilo roller tip's fine. Okay? And that's a good one to go chasing, just trawling. But most guys will be happy just buying a backbone and a TLD 25. It's a single speed reel, but it'll do the same job. And if you want to update your TLD 25, talk to Shimano or your local tackle shop and get a TNOS handle. You can actually buy a TNOS handle for about 80 bucks and put them on the TLD 20, 25, and I bet you it feels like a different reel. You won't even notice it. You won't even think you're using the TLD, seriously. So if you want to update your TLD instead of going to a 30, just update your handle. Talk to your local tackle shop. Good little tip, and it works well. Next one I use a lot, and you guys have probably seen it out in the boat a few times as well. Here's this is my little spinning outfit. Don't worry, I'm cracking the boat. So once again, we're going back to a Stratic. That's a 5,000 Stratic. Okay, 5,000 Stratic. This has got a 30-pound line on it, 30-pound braid, 300 meters plus. Okay, with a bit of backing. 30-pound on a Stratic 5000. And I can't even think of the brand of this rod now because I've painted over it's all black. But I know it was a PE. Was a PE 1 to 2 or no 2 to 3? 2 to 3. Okay. PE 2 to 3 rod. It's only a short rod once again. It's only 5'2". It's only quite short. But once again, short rods, more control over bigger, powerful fish. And I use this one a lot for, well, live baiting actually. But this is not for live baiting on the bottom. What I do with this one mainly is when I go unweighted or a very small sinker. So I want my live bait swimming down through the water column very slowly. Or if there's a bit of current, small sinker in his nose, and then basically it's a float lining outfit but with live baits. And I use this one. And it's more of a cobia and big mackerel stick. I've caught Spanish on these 25 kilo Spaniards on it. It took me 20 minutes. You can do it fairly easy. It didn't worry the rod and reel at all. I've caught like 20 plus kilo cobia on it. Not a problem in the world. I've caught 15 kilo jewies, 30 pound jewies on it. Not a problem. And all just having the live baits float down through a water column slowly. Okay, you can put in a rod on or leave your bail arm open, let the live bait swim out away from the boat. Or what I do is let them out so it's basically mid-water. I think it's mid-water. And just do me drag up so there's enough tension on there so if a fish grabs it they can set the hook. The rod will load up in a rod holder and self-hook. Okay, but that's me basically live baiting one. And if I'm fishing a few rods and I've got this one, the reason I chose a spin is because I can cast it out away from the boat. I can get a live bait, flick him out away from the other rods in the boat. Okay, with this one. So that one works well for floating down live baits. And I even go trolling with that for mackerel, Spanish. Okay. Now the one a lot of people don't believe they spin out when they know I use this, especially for offshore. And I'm fishing like 30 and 40 metres with this thing too, by the way. Is that. That's a little bait caster. That's just a little Calcutta 200. Filled with 10 kilo braid. Got 300 yards of 10 kilo, or actually, sorry. I can't remember what's that. There's quite a bit of line anyway. The Calcutta's quite a deep spool. But that's me little bait caster. This is one of my favourite rods for snapper. When I was down south chasing a lot of big snapper, this is my favourite rod. I used to love using bait casters when I was float lining, doing that technique, the float lining, or New Zealand straight lining. Okay. Once again, this rod is only small, it's only about 5 foot. You start to see a pattern here with my offshore gear. Most of the rods are short, except for the casting ones. Okay, so it's short, that's a 10 kilo stick. It's a custom made 10 kilo rod. 10 kilo braid, Calcutta 200, and this is my favourite float lining reel, and I'll explain why. A lot of guys like spin reels, and when they come out with me, I'll watch them lose fish. Because when a snappy hits and it's taken off, it's running really fast. It's not even only a snapper, it could be a tuna or a jewie or anything that's grabbed your bait down near the bottom, or as it's floating down, or a dolphin fish. But as it's spinning off on a spin reel really fast, people are trying to close their bail arm, close. It doesn't close, and half the time the fish, they just drop the baits or the hooks, pull out, and they miss the fish. They don't like spin reels for float lining like that. With a bait caster comes in handy. I've got the button down, I'm standing there, I'm peeling line out. My thumb's resting on the spool, so when the fish grabs it and takes off, I know because my thumb starts getting hot. When there's a fish running, all you got to do with this thing, because you've already got your drag preset, okay, you preset your drag, with the bait casters, turn the handle. You're into fighting mode. You're in gear. The drag's where it should be set, and all you do is when I've got a good fish on, especially a snapper or something that's running, my thumb's getting hot, I click it into gear, and then I keep winding until I feel solid weight between the rod and the fish, because when you're float lining, you get a belly in the line. And I see a lot of people strike, and all they're doing is pulling a belly and not setting the hooks, and once again, lose the fish. So with the bait caster, your thumb's getting hot, fish is taken off, turn the handle. You're into fighting gear, but don't stop. Keep winding until you feel solid weight, and set the hook. Then hang on, because once you set the hook, then once the fish feels weight and feels a hook, then he really takes off. And when you're hooking 10 kilo fish, like 20 pound snapper on this and 30 pound mulloway, small cobia, I've caught makos in this too, believe it or not, 4 foot makos. Float lining with pilchards on this. Interesting, but can be done. Little bait caster, great thing for float lining, just for the technique itself. Okay? And if you're not offshore float lining, there's your barra reel when you go up, barra outfit up north. There's your jack reel when you go up the canals. Use it for a lot of different things. Okay, what are we getting down to? Last couple. Next one is something that's taken off over the last few years. It's slow pitch jigging. People love the slow pitch or micro jigging. My outfit It is top of the range. It is a very expensive outfit. You don't have to go and buy this outfit, but just show you what I use. First of all, the reel's a Saltiga. Little Saltiga 10. Once again, 10 kilo mono. Okay, no, not mono, braid, sorry. 10 kilo braid. That's a Saltiga 10. Beautiful little reel. I prefer my overhead because I like to just hold it in my hand like so, thumb on there and just work it slowly. The rod, that's a different story. This rod also is a Saltiga. This is a Saltiga Beijiger. Okay, I can't even tell you how heavy that is. It's a very light rod. I need new glasses to read this. Okay, PE 1.2. It's a Saltiga Beijiger. This thing is a 7 foot long rod and it's really, really soft in the tip. I mean, really soft. I've caught some like 12 kilo yellowfin and stuff on this and it's great. It's good fun. Like I said, I love me sport fishing. I've caught jewies, 20 and 30 pound jewies on this. I've caught snapper. All good fish and all good fun on this rod. The only thing I like about this rod is it's so soft. So when I'm running, not this sort of size jig I used this the other day, but when I'm running bigger jigs out deeper water, I'm running like 80s and 100 grams. This rod with a soft tip, it really loads up and gives a lure a really good flick. So you get a lot of action out of your lures. I prefer using this in a bit deeper water, bigger jigs, so you really load up the rod and give it a good flick. You get the action, really good action. And the snapper and stuff seem to really respond to it. And I can't wait to use it out here on the reef when I'm in like 50 metres out here and looking for reds and nanagai and stuff. 10 kilos is going to be daring, but it's going to be fun trying. If I start getting too many sharks, I might have to up the ante. Won't be as much fun, but at least I won't lose as many fish. But to start off with, this thing, 10 kilo braid, 40 pound, and run 60 to 80 gram jigs on it just to really load it up. But if you're interested in micro jigging, you don't have to start off with expensive outfits like this. This is very expensive, especially the rod. You'd be surprised with the rod. But you can start out with like just a normal spin reel, say a Stratic or a Vanford or something like that. And there's a rod called Gamoku. They're like $180 to $200 rods. But they're nice little, they look like toys, but they're very soft, flimsy rods, but a lot of fun. And as long as you don't do what some people do and go put way too heavy a line on, stick some light line on, set your drags, you'll have yourself a nice light outfit to have some fun and go out and micro jig. And if you like it, then you can upgrade to the fancy a year later. But look at Gamokus and maybe just a spin reel to start off with. Unless you're used to overheads like I am, then overheads are very comfortable. But most guys start off with a, say, 3000 spin reel, put 20 pound braid on it, a little Gamoko, say, maybe green or something, or blue. What's I know what's heavier? I need the blue one's heavier. And go and have some fun. Give it a crack. Micro jig. It's good fun. You catch all sorts. Now we're getting down to the last one. Back to Old Faithful. Haven't used Old Faithful for a while, but a lot of the guys down south know what I'm talking about. Good old bait runners. One of the best reels in the world for going chasing snapper. This is when I'm snapper fishing. I'll have this one in the rod holder, bait runner set, so fish can take off, and I'll be having my little bait cast in my hand. I'll be floating down with my bait caster. The two rods I use when I'm chasing snapper. Years ago, when I was catching a lot of big snapper down south, this is the outfit I was using, this and the bait caster. It's done not only for snapper, it's for a variety of fish. You can use it for pretty much anything. Some guys even use them on the beach, but I wouldn't use it on the beach. Get a bit of salt and sand in this bait runner system. It's a real pain in the butt to fix, not fix, but clean up. It really is. But out in the boats, putting a rod holder, floating a pilly out, floating a live bait out for a jewie, mackerel baits, whatever. Bait runners are a good reel, not overly expensive, just a nice safe bet, especially if you've got kids in the boat and they get bored. You can put in a rod holder, okay? You can flick the switch, put the bait runner on, and a fish can pick up and run and you won't lose your outfit, okay? That's one good way to look at it, especially around kids or you got newbies on board, get bored fishing. Give them the bait runner, if they put it down the rod holder, just make sure the bait runner's set, and if they get a fish or a run, it's going to take off. You're not going to lose your outfit, and they're a strong little reel. They're not too bad actually. They're not really a casting reel for lures and stuff because I haven't got the ratio, but just for floating a few baits out or putting a paternoster on or something. Not so much paternoster, but a small bait or something's going to float down through the water column, and then set your bait runner, and just even let the drag pull off through with the current, and just let it float down. It's just an easy way to fish, a safe way to fish, and for the newbies or kids, if they get bored and they put it down, you won't lose it. Okay, And the rod I've got that on, that's a Zuza. I don't know if you can get by them anymore, I don't think you can, it's old school. But once again, that's a 7-foot rod, because I used to like to flick my baits well and truly out current. Okay, put the bait runner on, put in a rod holder, and just let the bait come down past the boat, and do its thing. And while it's doing its thing, I'm on the other side of the boat using my bait caster, flatlining. And that was a good way to find a lot of big snapper and jewies. Anyway guys, I sort of hope that helps. That's some of my gear and the gear I use a lot, and now that I've got the boat up and running and I'll be going out to the reef, you'll see a lot of this gear being used again and what I use it for. But I don't know if you saw the pattern, but the pattern is for me mainly short rods. A lot easier to handle, a lot easier to stack and put away and take with you, and more importantly, more control over big powerful fish. They really have. Okay, as with the shorter rod, there's short strokers and jig sticks. It's less pressure on you and your belly, there really is, and there's more pressure off the tip, so more pressure on the fish. When you reverse it around, there's more, like longer rods, you'll have more pressure on you, and there's nothing on the tips, nothing on the fish. So that's a little experiment to try at home. Pull down the tips, hold the rods, and see for yourself between your long rods and short rods. Okay, the short rods a lot easier to fish with, especially if you're chasing bigger, powerful fish. Jigging rods are short for a reason. And with all that being said, well guys, you don't have to buy exact reels and rods I've got here, but if you go buy something similar and use it along the lines of what I use it for, you'll have yourself a bit of fun. There you go guys, don't go buy cheap. Really, there's no need to go buy too cheap for chasing decent fish. You want a decent reel with decent gearing and a decent drag, and you want a rod. A rod really does play a big part in fishing. A lot of people think a rod is a rod. It's not. They all do different things. Just talk to your local fishing guys or tackle shops to see which one's going to suit you best. But hopefully what you just saw there give you an idea what you should be looking at. Anyway guys, thanks for watching the video. I'll see you again next week.